The purpose of this instructional video is to support you in completing the planning commentary in TaskStream. I am logged into TaskStream, and to work on my portfolio, I'm going to click this link for the DRF Program Educational Portfolio. And you'll see on the left-hand column there are all the elements that are included in the portfolio. For today, we're working on the planning commentary, and I will select that here. By clicking on this link where it indicates please complete this form, you will open up the planning commentary for edTPA. You'll notice that there are 5 areas that are bolded with a few prompts below each one. The first one is central focus. The second one is knowledge of students to inform teaching, and so forth. Each of these key areas has an associated rubric that your instructors will evaluate your responses with. Let's start with central focus. In the first box, you are asked to describe the central focus and purpose of the content that you are teaching to your students. In this box, answer the question, what is the key idea? Consult your standards and your objectives to help you answer this response. The other sections ask you to go further in your analysis of how you made decisions with planning. What is the relationship between your instructional methods, your objectives, and the standards? How do you scaffold and support learning? And describe how you ensure that the learning environment will be safe for your students, both emotionally and physically if applicable. That might be if they're doing a science lab. You may not have to comment on physically safe. Knowledge of the students to inform teaching. Your cooperating teacher will be a great source of information for these sections. You'll notice on the second prompt, you need to describe what you know about the students culturally within the community. You'll also describe how you support students' learning, what they knew coming into the lesson, what strategies you're selecting to help prepare them, and common errors they may make that you can be prepared to address if they come up. Then I want to talk a little bit about the academic language. First, your task is to choose a strong verb that your students would demonstrate. You might consult the depth of knowledge organizer to help you pick a key one. Others are included here, although you may come up with your own. For example, if your students are synthesizing, that may be one that you choose that is not included on the list. Then you're asked when students will work with language, and this includes both in your teaching where you will address language and also where they have an opportunity to practice it. Breaking down the language, you're asked to come up with the vocabulary words that you might need to introduce students with, but also with syntax and discourse, and I will define these for you. Syntax are structures of organizing information. So for example, if students have to demonstrate their knowledge on a graph or a table, or if they are writing a math equation, those organizing features like graph, equation, in writing it may be sentence. Students often need instruction on how to form those correctly. That is syntax. Discourse has to do with how we discuss and dialogue about concepts. For example, if your students are making inferences, you might coach them to say, when I read this, and they fill in the blank, I inferred this. You're almost giving them sentence structures in order to communicate their ideas. Describe what the language is for your relevant lesson and how you support them. And finally, describe how you'll assess your students, both formally and informally. Are you observing? Are you questioning them? Do they complete a worksheet or assignment at the end that will be graded? And then describe any adaptations and modifications the students may need. A lot of this you will have already planned for and included in your lesson plan. The commentary is your way to kind of justify the decisions that you made.